Who's ready for another entertaining episode of the Four Quarters Podcast? On today's podcast, I will be going over my upset picks, my game picks, and talking about everything else going on in the NBA. Welcome into the Four Quarters Podcast with your host, Alec Pecano. Like we said, today is an entertainingly busy show. We are going to get right into it and start with my upset picks for the NBA tonight. It is a busy slate of basketball tonight. My first upset is the Magic +2 to upset the Miami Heat. This is a rivalry game for the Magic, in-state rivalry. And they did really good against the Heat last year. And I think they get the win on opening night here against the Heat. My second upset pick is the Blazers +6 to upset the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors, I do have them doing good this year, but I think this is opening night for both teams. I think the Blazers get the upset win here. And my last upset is the Raptors +5.5 to upset the Cleveland Cavaliers. This upset, if it happens, would be a shocker, but to me, I don't know if it happens. It might. Now we get to my game picks. We're going to start with the 7 o'clock, 7:30 games. And that means we start with the Pacers and the Pistons. And my pick is the Pacers here. I think the Pacers are going to win this basketball game. I don't know by how much, maybe 10 points. But they are the better team in this situation. The Pistons are still kind of in the middle of a rebuild, even though when I did my stat leader predictions, I have Jaden Ivey leading third in the league in assist and winning most improved player, which I think is going to happen. But I think the Indiana Pacers just win this game with Tyrese Halliburton and Spicy P. Pascal Siakam. And then you got the Brooklyn Nets versus the Atlanta Hawks. Battle of two teams that one team's probably going to make the playoffs this year. The other team probably won't make the playoffs. So therefore, give me the Atlanta Hawks to beat the Brooklyn Nets. Then you've got the Orlando Magic at the Miami Heat. Give me the Orlando Magic in a closely hard-fought game between these two Florida rivals and division rivals at that. And then you've got the Philadelphia 76ers and the Milwaukee Bucks. I am taking the Sixers here. Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, Joel Embiid. Big three in Philly. Can they all stay healthy? I think they can for the most part. And I am taking the Sixers. Then you've got the Cavs and the Raptors. And again, give me the Raptors. They were one of my upset picks. I'm taking them. Now we got the 8 o'clock window / 10 o'clock. We've got the Hornets and the Rockets. The Hornets are in the middle of a rebuild. So give me the Rockets with Jalen Green, Aparat Shagun, Jabari Smith Jr. I am taking the Rockets, Pelicans, and Bulls. Now, both of these teams could make the play-in this year. Like I said in the first episode of the Four Quarters Podcast. And if you haven't already watched it, go watch it. You won't regret it. Now back to this episode. I am taking the Pelicans at home, and It's for one reason, Zion. I think Zion gets off to a good start this season. Then you've got the Grizzlies and the Jazz. Give me the Memphis Grizzlies here to beat the Utah Jazz. The Jazz are going to be one of the worst teams in the Western Conference this year, and I don't think it's even close. Then you've got the Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm taking the Suns on opening night here. I think the Suns are in for a big year with their big three and Booker, Durant, and Beal, and DeAndre Ayton. So give me the Suns. And the last game on the docket is the Blazers and the Warriors. Give me the Trailblazers to beat the Warriors. And the next thing I'm going to cover here is I'm going to give my opinion on JJ Redick's post-game presser last night and the comments he made regarding the basketball. JJ Redick, this is your first year coaching. I understand that, but you have no right to talk about officiating in a way you did and how the basketballs were, according to you, deflated when they weren't deflated. It's just you have LeBron who likes to whine and complain about everything, and then you have his son, Bronny, who, don't get me wrong, I think he's going to be good in the NBA, but it's going to take a little more time. But the Lakers, they need to figure out their issues here. Because I think they lost last night to the Timberwolves. And Anthony Edwards could be in the MVP race. Do I think he will be? Probably. Every week when I do this podcast, I will have my update. I'll do the same thing I do for the NFL. Updated power rankings. But for this, I will do updated Rookie of the Year, updated Most Improved, updated Defensive Player of the Year, updated. I'll give you my top three for every award and my top, I'm going to say top 5 power rankings after every week of the NBA. But now we're going to talk a little bit about the Magic and they opened the season tonight against the Heat. I think this is going to be a good game. Then they go to Memphis on Saturday and play the Grizzlies. I'm interested to see their first-round pick, Tristan da Silva, and how good he is. As a matter of fact, if I can, give me 2 seconds. Let's just go here. And we're going to go share screen. I'm going to look at the first month of the season for the Orlando Magic. Right there, Magic. Schedule. So the first month of the 2024-25 season for the Magic is, so they start the year, their season openers tonight at Miami. I think they might win that game. And then they get Brooklyn at home Friday. That should be a win. So if they lose tonight and they beat Brooklyn, they're 1-1. Then they go to Memphis on Saturday, 8 o'clock game on NBA TV. That's going to be probably a loss, so they're 1-2. Then they come home and play the Pacers. That's a loss. So 1-3. Then they beat the Bulls, so they're 2-3. Then they get Cleveland on a Friday at Cleveland November 1st on ESPN at 7 p.m. That's going to be a win. So they're 3-3 now. Then they get Dallas on the road. That's probably going to be a loss. So they're 3-4. Lose to OKC 3-5. Beat the Pacers 4-5. Beat New Orleans 5-5. Beat Washington 6-5. Beat the Hornets 7-5. Lose to Indiana 7-6. Lose to the Sixers 7-7. Lose to lose to Phoenix 7-8. Beat the Clippers 8-8. Beat the Lakers 9-8. Beat the Pistons 10-8. Beat the Hornets 11-8. Beat the Bulls 12-8. Beat Brooklyn again back to back. So that makes you 14-8. Lose to the Knicks 14-9. Split with the Sixers, so 15-10. Beat the beat the Suns. So you're 16-10. Lose to OKC 16-11. Beat the Heat 17-12. Lose to the Celtics 17-13. Beat the Heat 18-13. Beat the Knicks 19-13. Beat Brooklyn 20-13. Beat the Beat the Pistons 21-13. Beat Toronto 22-15. 16. Beat the Jazz 23-16. Beat the Knicks 24-16. Lose to the Timberwolves. Lose to the Bucks. So that's 24-18. And that's as far as I'm going to go. So they're going to go in the first half of the season. They're going to go 24 all the way up to January 15th. They're going to go 24-18. And now we will take a look at the roster. And there's one guy on the Magic that I'm interested in watching. He's a rookie this year. He was just drafted this year. Tristan Da Silva. Rookie out of Colorado. I want to see how Tristan Da Silva looks and if that was a good pick or if the Magic reached. And then you've got Jamal Mosley still the coach. Returners are Franz Wagner. Your starting five is probably going to be Franz, Jalen Suggs, Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, Paolo Banchero, and Wendell Carter. That's not a bad starting five. At all. And actually, we're going to look at the depth chart too and see who they got. So Jalen Suggs is your starting point guard. So Suggs. Oh, it's KCP. I forgot. KCP. So your starting five is Suggs, KCP, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter. Yeah, that's not a bad starting five at all. And then your backups are, your second stringers are Cole Anthony, Gary Harris, Anthony Black, Jonathan Isaac, and Mo Wagner. And then, of course, you got Anthony Black, Cole Anthony, Caleb Houston, Mo Wagner, Jonathan Isaac as third stringers. But that's here nor there. But like I said, that's going to be a good game tonight. And that's a test of how good the Magic are going to be this year. And if you've enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a thumbs up. Please leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I know you're going to love the content you get on this channel. Turn on notifications. Be looking out for more videos. And I might also start going live on my TikTok, which is Alec Pecano. Go give that a follow as well. And that's going to wrap up today's episode of the Four Quarters Podcast. Thank you for watching.